Lady Gaga has sold millions of records, won an Oscar, wore a meat dress, and is now ready to conquer the beauty world. Mother Monster just announced her new beauty brand called House Laboratories. It goes like this: our house, your rules. In an interview with Business of Fashion, Gaga mentioned that the line will be sold exclusively, of all places, you probably guessed it, on Amazon, and is inspired by Gaga's early days as an inspiring singer in Lower Manhattan. Now, here's what the masses think. Oh, they're just doing it because they're popular already. They want to make more money. They got this household brand name. Why not monetize more? And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not that simple. Ask anyone on the street and they're going to think, oh yeah, well, they're popular. Of course, it's easy for them. No, you don't get it. That's not what's going on here. Let me explain. There's an opportunity for those of you guys who sell on Amazon, especially if you sell clothing and fashion brands, and you can leverage this opportunity for your own fashion brand. Because fading are the days of building a beauty brand via fashion magazines, the Runway, New York Fashion Week, and photo shoots. And arrived are the days of building your fashion brand through, are you ready for it? Influencers. And nothing illustrates this better than Lady Gaga's own personal fashion brand. Now, notice that they're not publishing a magazine. They're not doing the New York runway thing or telling the world, hey, you don't look good if you don't wear our brand. That happened in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the early 2000s. But with social media, people actually have the right to say, no, I like this, I don't like this, good riddance to you, and I like you. It's given people a voice. Democracy has never been demonstrated better than through social media. But with all the clutter, how in the world do you leverage that to actually build your fashion brand? Well, think about what's happening. The way they are building this brand is very simple. They're putting clothing on Lady Gaga. That's it. She wears the clothing and people are like, man, I resonate with her. I like her music. I like her albums. I like A Star Is Born movie, so I want to be like that. So it's not so much because people love the clothing, but because they love what it represents. People who love Lady Gaga's music or resonate with her style are going to wear it, and people who detest it are not going to wear it. It's very simple. So what's really happening is what's selling this clothing, or what will sell this clothing once it starts, it's beginning to start mid-July, is the reputation and the style and the image Lady Gaga has built over the last decade. So if you are launching a clothing brand, you will happily skip over 1,000, literally 1,000 unnecessary steps if you just get the right people to wear it. Well, how do I do that? Why would Lady Gaga listen to me or to you? Well, I'm gonna share with you the exact technique we used and now have 24 celebrities wearing our fashion brands. Number one, find someone who loves fashion and has at least 1 million followers on Instagram. And they don't even have to be a model and not necessarily gorgeous. Just find someone who already has something unique about them. Number two, take pictures of your best clothing that you've developed, your best fashion, as a collection, not just a pair of pants or a blouse or a pair of shoes or socks, but actually a collection, because most people, especially women, like to piece things together to create a holistic look. Put them on models, take pictures, and number three, you're gonna send those pictures to the influencer on their platform and say, hi, I'm the founder of name of brand, and I'm sending this to you as a gift. If you don't post about it, I know you don't like it. If you do post a picture wearing this clothing, I know you loved it. And if that's the case, I'd like to help you develop your own line of clothing as your own personal brand. Our goal is to have an influencer from every state. So far, we're at 24 states in the US, and we've successfully done this up to that point. Now, here's the secret that most people do not realize. Here's the trend. A celebrity reaches their peak. For most people who act, it's in their late 20s. For many models, it's their late 30s. And I'm not trying to put a cap on someone's ability at all, but if their success depended on how they look, then there is a peak. There's a cap, and you'll notice a lot of times, with the exception of some very amazing actors, their fame begins to fade as the younger ones begin to rise up. And that is the moment where you have an opportunity. Because what you do is you reach out to them in that stage of life, because they get to a point where they're like, wait a minute, I'm not really escalating like I used to be. What do I do now? Well, this is a perfect time to start my own fashion clothing brand, because it depends a little less on my looks and a little more on my image, my brand, the style I've created over the last decade. For example, fans were asked to vote for their top female pop stars, and I'm gonna give you the top 13 in this order. Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Camila Cabello, Beyonce Knowles, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Anne Marie, Grace Vanderwaal, Halsey, Pink, Dua Lipa, Katy Perry, and then Lady Gaga. She came in number 13. If you did this just 2 years ago, she would not come in number 13. She came in much sooner. Now what happened? Some people are reaching their peak. They get to a certain age and they're not quite so popular anymore. So the natural next best thing to do is to say, okay, how about I build a brand? I'm gonna give you an exact example without ever sharing the name. A celebrity who played on 24, the TV show. You know Jack Bauer, the guy who loves to interview, interrogate people. And Orange is the New Black. She acted in both of those shows, very famous, and she called me, found my phone number somehow and said, can you help me build up my own fashion brand on Amazon? Why? Because she reached a stage in her life where this is the natural next best thing to do. If you do that, it's amazing what you can do. But don't go around thinking, oh, well, just because they're famous and they're stars, they have some special advantage. No, they had to work very hard to get there. They had to go through a lot. If you ever heard even Lady Gaga's story, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there is a point where they reach a peak if their success depends on their appearance. And that is your opportunity, my friends, to get in there and say, look, I can help you build a fashion brand and make a lot of money, and you will too. That's my 10 cents.